The rain mixed with blood on the warehouse floor. Isabella's vision blurred as she pressed her hand against the wound, feeling the warmth drain from her body. Through the shadows, she saw him, Dante Moretti, standing at the entrance with his jaw clenched, frozen in place. "Boss gave the order," Marco had said before pulling the trigger. "No witnesses." But Marco didn't know. Nobody knew. Her trembling hand moved to her stomach, where a secret had been growing for 8 weeks. A secret she'd planned to tell Dante that very night, before everything shattered. Before she'd witnessed the execution. Before he'd believed she was a federal informant. The envelope in her jacket pocket felt heavy, ultrasound images that would now never reach his hands. As darkness crept in, one thought consumed her: he killed us both without ever knowing. This is a story that will grip you from beginning to end. If you want to know how everything started and where this is going, subscribe to the channel and leave in the comments where you're watching from. Every view counts. 3 months earlier, Isabella Chen had stood in front of the Sapphire Casino with exactly $47 in her pocket and a mountain of debt crushing her shoulders. The neon lights reflected off the rain-slicked pavement, mocking her desperation. Her mother's medical bills had piled up faster than she could count. Stage 4 cancer didn't care that Isabella worked 3 jobs. It didn't care that she'd already sold everything of. This was the man the city feared, and she was living in his home, sleeping down the hall. When he returned at dawn, blood spattered his white shirt. She was waiting with a first aid kit. "You should be in bed." His voice was rough with exhaustion. "You're bleeding." "It's not mine." "Your knuckles are split." She gestured to the chair. "Sit." For a moment, she thought he'd refuse. Then, surprisingly, he obeyed. As she cleaned his hands, his eyes never left her face. "You're not afraid of the blood." "I'm a nurse's daughter. I've seen worse." She dabbed antiseptic on his torn knuckles, her touch gentle despite his wince. "Besides, you think I don't know what you are? What you do. Knowing and seeing are different things. I see a man who protects what's his." She met his gaze. "Sometimes violently. But you've never lied to me about what this world is." His hand caught her wrist, thumb pressing against her racing pulse. "I brought you here because you're clean, untouched by this life. I thought—" He released her abruptly. "I thought I could keep one thing pure. I fell listening to you hum while you worked, making this mausoleum feel like a home." "Dante." "That man who saw you tonight. Marco. He's my enforcer, but he's also my cousin. Family." His jaw clenched. "He recognized you from the restaurant. He knows you witnessed him collecting. And now he knows you're close to me." The implication settled like ice in her veins. "I'm a liability. You're a target." He stood abruptly. "Marco follows old rules. Witnesses don't talk because witnesses don't survive. He'll go to my father, claim you're a security risk." "What does that mean?" His silence was answer enough. "They'll want me dead." She said it calmly, though her hands trembled. "And you? What will you do?" "Protect you. Absolute. Final. Whatever it costs." The next morning, everything had changed. Dante moved her to a different room, one in the secure wing, with guards outside her door. She was no longer an employee. She was a prisoner under protection. "How long?" she asked when he brought her breakfast himself. "Until I fix this." "Can you fix it?" His hesitation was answer enough. In his world, rules were absolute. Family was everything. And she was an outsider who'd seen too much. "There's a way," he said finally. "If you marry me, you become family. Untouchable." Her breath caught. "The engagement. I'll break it. Deal with the consequences." He sat across from her, looking more tired than she'd ever seen him. Victoria's family will retaliate. Could mean war. But you'd be safe. You'd start a war for me? I'd burn down the entire city for you. Not romance. Statement of fact. But Isabella, you need to understand what you'd be signing up for. This life, there's no leaving. No normal. No safety, not really. You'd be the wife of a monster. You're not a monster. I've killed men with my bare hands. I've ordered executions. I've built an empire on fear and it gives Dante political cover. He did his duty, eliminated a threat. The council can't touch him. Dante looked like he might be sick. Label her a traitor? Destroy her name? I'm already dead in their eyes, Isabella pointed out. At least this way, my mother stays safe. No retaliation against my family. She looked at Dante. And you keep your position. You can still do good, protect people. Change things from the inside. I can't. Dante's voice broke. I can't order your death, Isabella. I can't live knowing Then don't think of it as ordering my death. She pressed her forehead to his. Think of it as setting me free. The next 48 hours were agony. They didn't speak about the plan, didn't acknowledge the clock counting down. Instead, they existed in a bubble, making love like it was the first and last time, talking about dreams they'd never fulfill, memorizing every touch, every word. If there was another way, Dante whispered into her hair one night, any other way. I know. She turned in his arms. But there isn't. And I need you to promise me something. Anything. Don't let this break you. Don't become the monster you're afraid you are. Her fingers traced his jaw. Lie. Vincent had planted evidence that would lead Marco to implicate himself, provided they could provoke the right reaction. Isabella watched through a hidden camera as Dante entered the meeting room. He looked hollowed out, a ghost of the man she'd known. Her hand instinctively covered her stomach, where their child moved gently. "Hang on, little one," she whispered. "We're almost there." The meeting started normally. Territory disputes, financial reports, the boring mechanics of empire. Then Vincent stood, addressing the council with evidence he claimed to have just discovered. "Marco Moretti has been in contact with federal agents for 6 months," Vincent announced, projecting bank records. Wire transfers. Meeting logs. He's been selling family secrets. Marco shot to his feet. "That's a lie. Then explain the deposits." Vincent's voice was calm. "Explain the recorded conversations." "Those are fabricated. Someone's setting me up." Marco's eyes, wild, landed on Dante. "It's him. He's trying to eliminate me for killing his whore." The room went dead silent. "Careful," Dante said softly, dangerously. "You're talking about my wife." "Your dead wife." Marco's smile was cruel. "Who died because she was a rat. Who I executed on family orders. You want revenge? Sorry, cousin, but family law protected me. Except she wasn't a rat." Vincent played the final card. "You planted the evidence. You made her look like an informant so you could eliminate a witness, the only person who'd seen you collecting from unauthorized territories, skimming off the top." Marco's face went white, then red. "You can't prove." "I can." Vincent played Some families had resisted. But with Isabella beside him and Vincent as his right hand, they'd created change. He wrapped his arms around Isabella from behind, his chin on her shoulder. "What are you thinking about? How close we came to losing this." She leaned into him. "How death brought us life. Never again." His voice was fierce. "I protect what's mine. Always." Sophia ran to them, throwing her small arms around both their legs. "Papa, Mama, come play." Isabella looked at her daughter, at her husband, at the life they'd built from ashes and impossibilities. Every scar had been worth it. Every moment of fear had led to this. "Come on," she said, taking Dante's hand. "Our daughter's waiting." They walked into the garden together, a family forged in fire, bound by love, unbreakable. The end. And so our story comes to an end. If you connected with this journey, leave your like and share with someone who you think will enjoy it too. More stories are coming. See you in the next one.